Welcome to the world of Mime Over Matter. We have a Four Horsemen Studios, the beloved company who brings us Mythic Legions and Cosmic Legions. This is their Figura Obscura line, and the Christmas edition for 2025, none other than the Nutcracker-inspired Mouse King. And I saw some images of this guy. It is absolutely incredible. I always love the packaging of these guys, so you can see this folds out. I use these for a ton of my backgrounds and my stop motions. So now we have a nice little inside of a clock tower view that we're going to be able to use. And I'll put a stop motion at the end of this. Little, maybe perhaps a fight scene with the Mouse King himself. And I have seen some screen captures of this guy before he came out, so I knew what I was ordering, as would expect. And this guy looks insane. Just absolutely incredible. From inside the package, he's actually covered a little bit, which I'm not sure if that's for protection because this is a massive beast of a figure. There's a nice, if you look on the back, they say it's based off of the story by Alexander Dumas, who, if anyone is familiar with that is the same guy who wrote The Count of Monte Cristo, as well as The Three Musketeers. So this guy knows what he's doing. He did not create the Nutcracker, but he did come up with the retelling of the story that was then used for the musical The Nutcracker. So really cool little bit of history over there. And I cannot wait to get this guy out of here. This guy has, if you've seen the picture, more than one head for one figure, which is incredible. And if you like animal action figures, which I do, you're thinking to yourself, that is a lot of bonus heads for a whole army of rats. Or I guess he wouldn't be a rat, he would be a mouse, but close enough. I cannot wait for all those bonus heads, see what they look like. Inside the packaging, we got a nice little, another clock tower view, and it looks like a little story in there. Likely the Nutcracker, if I had to guess. And there he is, on the back with all of his heads. This is going to be incredible. I am so excited about this figure. Oh, we got a nice little silica packet. So if we need to do some light demoisturing, we are all set. All right, now we are getting through the plastic shells. It looks like there's multiple shells in here, so all sorts of goodies. We've got a backing with all his accessories. It looks like a nice little tail. And then the beast of a figure right here. The beast with all of those mouse heads. And he's got a crown of bone. And it looks like, he's got a bonus neck, which was another really cool selling point for me on picking up this figure. If you don't want all of the multiple heads, you can actually take the neck off and put on the adapter for one singular mouse head. But this guy is amazing. I'm actually a little bit torn. I don't know which way I want to display him. I was originally thinking just the one head, but he just looks so cool. So I am still up in the air. He looks like there's a bonus surprise in there. They usually put a nice little Christmas surprise. It's wrapped in black plastic, so no peeking. I'm not sure what to expect in that one, so very excited. And let's free the beast. And hopefully this does not come back to bite us, because mice have been known to bite. This guy is probably one of the heaviest figures I think I've ever dealt with. He is just massive, and I'm surprised he stands right away, and I figure that that's top heavy. He's got those nice he's got the woo surprise look on the back, and he's got very poor neck articulation on that ball joint, but he's definitely making that ball joint work for it. And each of these necks on all of these different mouse heads are articulated, and you can get some movement, so they could shake no, move left and right, eat some cheese. And then the whole big shoulder piece does tend to move. This is awesome. And then we've got one who is giving a little snarl, one who's giving the death stare, then a few just more complacent stares, and then we have the one with the crown. From an articulation standpoint, the elbows are amazing. We got some wrist articulation. The shoulders are probably going to be a little bit limited with this giant headpiece on, just because they can't really lift up too high. But they are there. If you swap out for the next neck, you know it's a Mythic Legions style articulation, so it's definitely going to be movable. And then we've got our knee joints, not really hindered by those giant knee pads. And then we've got all the cool belt work and detailing and sculpting. This is just a absolutely incredible figure. I'm really excited to put that smaller neck piece on to see what it looks like just with his one singular head. And then we've got a nice little neck piece with the ruffled feathers for his more formal wear, when he has just the singular head on, so that goes right on there. We'll be using that once we unbox everything else, so we are all set to go on that. We'll get going on his accessories, and He's a little bit top heavy. He took a topple, but very, very on cue because we were just taking out his stand. So if you are displaying him with all of those extra heads, there's a lot of weight on there. He comes with a display piece where you can kind of just anchor it onto his waist, put some screws in there so that thing will stay up. I genuinely don't think I'm going to display him with this, so I'm not going to put the screws in there at the moment. But for those who will, and that's his permanent look, I genuinely think I'm just going to go with the singular head look, just based off of the weight. And I don't typically like using stands like that on my figures, just personal preference. And he's got a cool little tail piece that goes in there. It's a nice little ball joint, so it can go left and right, and then it is bendy, so you could whip it around, have it do what a mouse tail would do, which is whip around and bend. That's just nature. And luckily, it could also stand him up. So he is good to go from a balance standpoint without the stand. And then we've got this awesome looking tattered cape. So I was not actually expecting a cape in there. So I don't know why. Perhaps the pictures I saw, I just didn't look at them. I was so focused on the massive heads. But this thing is amazing. This thing looks like it was genuinely sewn by just a bunch of mice who just learned how to sew. And it's all tattered. There's patches. This thing is incredible. This is exactly the type of sewing work and tailoring you would expect from a mouse. It is phenomenal. I love this thing. So I'm definitely going to display him with this. I'm just trying to see how to. I'm not sure if it can go on the big multi-head piece. We might have to take off the whole thing and put it on the neck ball over there. And we'll perhaps see that later. But right now we can test it out on the singular headpiece. That does not have all of the multiple heads on there. So it looks like we can slide it on the neck piece, put the nice ruffling over, and that just fell off, which gives us a nice opportunity to play around with that. So now we can see his body, just the body, no head accessories, and he's got the nice little ball joint that holds it all on. And then that ball joint for a normal head could then go on the neck extender, and it looks like it just fits right in. It is not too snug of a fit, which probably why the other head fell off a little bit. So we might have to push it in a little bit more, or not. I'm not sure if it's how tight it's meant to be. But right now we're focusing on his little Red Riding Hood cape so that he can go to grandmother's house through the woods and just have a good time. You know, it's the holiday, so he wants to see his family. And that thing looks incredible. That thing, of course, I mean, the cape, I love it. Well, the rest of it too. And here is just a closer view of just all these mice head. They are so cool. I cannot wait to put these on various bodies just because that is my style of action figure. I love the animals. I love Mythic Legions. I love Figura Obscura. And the more animal figures I have, the better. So we're just going to pop off a singular head and put it onto the singular body. And that is the Mouse King in all of his glory. So there he goes. He's got the extended neck. He looks very beast-like. He is ready to go. This guy is incredible. Just trying to see what he would look like without the cape. I don't think I'm going to display him without the cape. Yeah, he looks unfinished without the cape and the neck piece. So if you're going to probably put on the singular head with the neck extender, either don't put the cape on or don't put the ruffle head thing on and just have it be as is. But I think the cape and the ruffles, it's the way to go. This guy looks amazing, and he's royalty, so of course he has the scepter. And I'm somewhat second guessing whether or not I want to give the singular head as the crown, but I kind of like the look without the crown, even though now I'm dressing him like royalty with his scepter and his cape. So I might swap that one in and out, but this guy is awesome. The scepter is such a cool bonus piece, and he's got a sword in case he's got to do some light fighting, or he uses it kind of like a toothpick when he's trying to skewer a nice piece of cheese at a holiday party. He brings his own, so he doesn't have to worry about whether or not he could find one, and then he gets judged by the office for using his hands. And they're like, who invited the mouse to the party? And it's a whole big thing. So he doesn't have to worry about that, so he packs his own sword. He also comes with a nice little pack of bonus hands, so we're just opening that up. They are the open hands, so if he's doing some clawing or high-fiving or holding a chalice or a cup, we could put those on. But he came with the accessories that I really like, so he came with the holding hands, so I'm probably going to keep the holding hands on him. But if I ever need to swap them out, I've got a nice pair of extra mouse hands nearby. And then he also, his tail keeps falling off, so it's not the tightest fit. I run into the same issue with the Monkey King, who's got the tail piece that just kind of plops in. And I don't usually have the tail piece on the Monkey King, so it's probably going to be similar to this. And I'm excited. What is in the bonus bag? What is our Christmas surprise in this figure? And it feels like a head. And it is a head. It is a awesome looking, looks like a beaten up, tattered, broken Nutcracker head. So this guy is awesome. I think I now have the story of my stop motion I'm going to put at the end of this. It's going to be the Nutcracker versus the Mouse King. That is what I'm going to do. And they need bodies. So here I took a knight figure from Mythic Legions and I put one of those bonus heads on there. The way the neck is shaped, he is looking up a little bit. So I would say if I'm going to put it on that, you have to have him crouching over a little bit so it doesn't look awkward that he's looking up into the sky. And then for our Nutcracker, I also took a bonus body of a knight because I was expecting to make 2 mouse soldiers. But now I have one of them as the Nutcracker, so I'll have to find some of my other knight bodies so that I could make some more mice soldiers for the Mouse King to reign upon. But this guy is awesome. Loving all of these bonus heads. I am definitely going to put them to good use. Love the Nutcracker head. That is amazing. Love the Mouse King body, all of the accessories. This is, in my opinion, the absolute perfect Four Horsemen Studios figure. Stick around for a stop motion. Thanks for watching.